In India, there are over 3,000 protected historical monuments. The Archaeological Survey of India has placed a warning board at exactly one of them. It reads, "Entering the borders of Bhangarh before sunrise and after sunset is strictly prohibited. No official explanation has ever been given." This is that place. Welcome back to the Midnight Ledger. Tonight's case file comes from our own backyard. Bhangarh Fort, Alwar district, Rajasthan, a 16th century fortress city once home to over 10,000 people, today completely abandoned, officially restricted after dark, carrying two curses that locals believe are still active. This is not legend passed down in whispers. This is a location you can visit today, a warning board you can photograph yourself. Let's open the file. Built in 1573 by Raja Bhagwant Das for his son Madho Singh Bhangarh, was extraordinary at its height. 5 protective gates, a thriving marketplace called Johari Bazaar, stretching for over a kilometer, grand temples to Shiva, Ganesh, and Gopinath, over 10,000 people living, trading, building, and then they simply left. The final blow came in 1783. The Chalisa famine swept across North India, killing an estimated 11 million people. A weakened kingdom with no food, no stability, no future. Families packed and moved. The city was never moved again. But historians who have studied Bhangarh point to something that natural decay alone cannot explain. Every building across this entire city, every temple, every palace, every merchant house has no roof. Not one intact roof across the entire city. And the Archaeological Survey of India, which has conserved this site for decades, has never attempted to restore a single one. 2 legends explain what happened to Bhangarh. Both involve a curse. Both involve someone who should have been listened to and wasn't. The first Guru Balunath, an ascetic who meditated on the Aravalli hills, permitted the city to be built on one condition: the moment the shadows of your palaces touch me, the city shall be no more. For generations, the condition was honored. Then, an ambitious descendant raised one palace wall too high. The shadow fell, and according to legend, the city fell with it. The tomb of Guru Balunath still stands at the base of the fort today. Local villagers maintain it with fresh flowers and incense. They believe the curse remains active. The second legend is the one Rajasthan never forgot. Princess Ratnavati, renowned across Rajputana as the most beautiful princess of her era. At 18, suitors arrived from kingdoms across India to seek her hand. Among them, a tantric named Singya, a practitioner of black magic, a man who knew a sorcerer could never marry a princess. So he chose another path. One day, he spotted the princess's maid in the Johari Bazaar purchasing fragrant Ittar perfume oil. He enchanted the bottle with a love potion. When the princess touched it, she would be his. The princess had seen him. She threw the bottle against the boulder. The enchanted oil touched the stone, and the boulder began rolling. It followed Singhia. It crushed him. As he lay dying, he used his last breath to curse Bhangarh. No soul shall find peace in this city. Anyone who dares to live within its walls will meet a tragic death. Within 1 year, war broke out. The princess was killed in battle. The city that had stood for a century fell within 12 months of the sorcerer's final words. Coincidence or consequence? Now we come to the detail that separates Bhangarh from every haunted location in India. The Archaeological Survey of India, a government body, a scientific institution, manages over 3,000 protected monuments across this country. Taj Mahal, Red Fort, Qutub Minar, Hampi, Khajuraho, Ku. None of them have a warning board restricting entry after dark. Only Bhangarh. The official position is that the restriction exists for visitor safety. The terrain is uneven, the area is dark, facilities are limited, but those conditions apply to dozens of other forts across Rajasthan. None of them have this board. The board exists. It says what it says. The government has never elaborated further. Make of that what you will. Locals speak of disembodied screams echoing through empty corridors, the sound of bangles jingling in rooms where no one walks. Camera batteries drain the moment visitors cross the threshold. Mobile signals vanish inside specific chambers. Temperature drops without explanation. Paranormal investigators have documented voices responding to questions inside the ruins, whispers captured on audio equipment that was fully functional before entering. And then there is the story locals tell most often. 3 youths dared to enter Bhangarh after dark. One fell into a well, rescued immediately. But all 3 were killed in a freak accident on the road to hospital. 3 people entered after dark. 3 people never came home. None of this is proof, but across hundreds of independent visitors, the same experiences, the same equipment failures, the same heaviness in the air, without coordination, without contact. Bhangarh Fort is 90 kilometers from Jaipur. You can book a taxi and be there in 2 hours. The gates open at sunrise. The gates close at sunset. Between those 2 moments, you can walk the same cobblestone streets of Johari Bazaar, stand where Singhia watched the princess's maid, touch the walls that cast the shadow. Visit the tomb of Balunath, where the flowers are always fresh. But when the sun drops behind the Aravalli hills and the ASI guard walks toward the entrance, you will feel something that every visitor to Bhangarh describes but cannot name. A reluctance to leave. Or perhaps something else's reluctance to let you. That is Bhangarh Fort, India's most haunted location, the only monument in the country that the government warns you about, and the first case file on the Midnight Ledger from right here. The Ledger stays open. Subscribe to the Midnight Ledger. New case every week. Tell me in the comments, would you dare enter Bhangarh after dark? Until next time, the Ledger stays open.